Last week, we got a demo from Zoltan. What was it about?
Azure integration in the marketplace.
Oh, yeah. Marketplace. You're the one, not the one. Then we got Mike's code. Jack.
Yeah, Jack also demoed the dynamic visibility rules for the forms.
And last and today a page for 2025. We have demos.
I have a demo. Can you guess the topic?
AGI. Should I ask OpenAI?
AI,
AI. What will
AI
AI or A1?
AI. I'm not telling you the topic because you're not following me on LinkedIn, so I'm not going to tell you.
Have you did anyone see why I say A1? Mike, I can find you. How should I follow you? That's interesting. AI. There is no AI there. Oh, there is AI. Oh, okay. So, Mike, and then topics.
I think we have 2 PRs that we need to look at. Yeah, well, the release is one of them. So 1 release and 1 PR.
Status, option 1. Option 1 here. 8. Nothing here. Option core. That we saw. Thing. And then here. To not close underlying string. So we saw that also. But no, this one is backported on to one branch. This one is updating the versions. And this one is the latest on 8.10, so that's good. For 8 and for 9. There is a new one. Probably won't get the Renovate. So good. Enforce and apply rule SA 1413. What kind of rule is that? I like that, but there is a rule for that. So did you change the post? Why do we need that? Why do we need that? So you're enforcing it now. You say it's an error if we don't do that. But why do we need that? I don't think we do. Okay, slide updates. This is how to create a memory leak in Object Core. If you want to know, you create a static array of stuff and you keep adding to it, and then you get a memory leak. Yeah, just to prove that you can get a memory leak. Because we don't have any, so I'm like, let's create one. Okay, refine, renovate, config. Non-breaking dependency versions. Auto merge, like if it builds and it's a patch version update, then just merge it. So we are not bothered by that. Minor ones we need to validate. Fix Azure Search AI content indexing because it was broken, so now it's fixed. Content indexing method. What did we do? Okay, this is for storing the last thing that was indexed, so you can follow up. And you put it in a custom property. Because it's per index. Okay, we trust you, it's AI. Zoltan fix GSL MarkdownField editor. MarkdownField and do about something. What's happening is the same thing. And then str to bool. Str to bool. That's weird. So that was probably to I see, that was to convert this boolean to a string, but now the solution is to say it doesn't work. This code doesn't work. Oh no, I see. This okay. There was a mix between JavaScript and C# probably. So yeah, maybe there was a mix between JavaScript and C#. So now the code is like, let's generate a string. Yeah, that is still wrong. It's like we should remove the single quotes here because I'm okay with that whole thing being in C#. What could happen
the
is that we
single
generate
quotes are JavaScript, right?
Yes, but why is it a string then? Why it's a JavaScript one? So this
It's a
RTL will be the
JavaScript
string.
string which contains true or false.
Yeah, why?
Because just because.
Oh, because and then we
It's
change the
later.
string. Okay, so we don't have to change the rest of the code instead of saying like now it should be a boolean,
Yeah.
and then we can check if is RTL equals true instead of a string true. It's kind of weird to say, oh, let's generate the string true, the string false.
Yeah, the
I agree.
problem is that if you don't if you don't do it that way, you'll get a JavaScript syntax error in the editor. It's kind of strange, but it's a workaround, so you don't get the highlighter telling you it's an error. Yeah.
The previous code, but now it's fixing maybe the code, but it's still creating a string in JavaScript that contains true false.
Yeah, it is. But I think before it wasn't. We were doing a Boolean check in the condition, not a string, and now it's a string or the opposite.
It was a string also before.
Yeah, so it's
It's
at
fixing
some point
whatever
we
to
did.
fix, but yeah, it's weird that we did that. Like maybe it was easier, but that's weird that we did that and we are still doing that.
Yeah.
Because we could say blue and red, right? Instead of true and false, because that, yeah. It's very... Okay, cool. It works. Warning now. No more is a warning. So let's wait for the next commit that says now it's nothing. Fix shortcodes button style for pitch bar templates. Shortcodes button style. So the style has been fixed. Nothing to read here. We can't understand the change. Or can we give wrapper?
Oh, this code was converted from jQuery to plain JavaScript, and there's an error.
Oh,
It was an element which should wrap the children, but it was just added. Now it's wrapping again.
This code fixes the shortcode button.
Yeah, which was broken because of a conversion from jQuery to.
I see.
During the update to the new asset manager.
asset manager. Due data. Oh, which one? Fix is using the written value when changing password. Okay. Complete it. This code is fine. Don't process RolesMigrations during tenant creation. We saw that on Thursday. Yes. When we don't need to, we don't run it. And with a beautiful comment. Only run this migration logic for existing tenants. Blah, blah, blah. The best comment ever. Good job, Mike. Fix, renovate, schedule, config. Renovate, schedule, config. Yeah, sometimes put it in the PR that, no, it's here. On Sunday, version will to ensure that Renovate runs at least once because it will run on the schedule, and if it matches the window, then it will run on our thing. So it's like it has its own schedule, but we have to provide a window that will match their schedule, something like that. So now it will run. Backport onto one. The one just before the migration, then reverting user should provide a current password and change password. We talked about it last triage. This change was introducing another change, so another issue, so we reverted it. Yeah, to update to one with the next release. Oh, wait, pause, break.
This is main.
Yeah, fine. T. Break. Victoria.
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, I was a little bit late because of my other duties. I don't really have so much news. I just wanted to come here as every week to remind you that you can still leave comments or suggestions for our next Orchard Harvest conference, and I really recommend to join the conversation because we are really open for any ideas. So that's all from me.
Can I also? I forgot to. I am new member of Lombiq team, and I am first. This is my first time that I join here, so I would also like to to add a demo of Lombiq UI kit widgets. So if
Nope.
that's okay now.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't have
Okay.
to be on the list to be able to do that. Even at the last minute, you can join and say, hey, I'm Victoria, I want to say something. See.
Okay.
I have a question, Victoria.
Yes.
I just more concerned. So I saw that you try if it's not part of the other conference that's around the time, whatever conference, I forgot the name, to be right before or right after.
Yes. I was trying to communicate with the Microsoft team. Yeah, I wasn't lucky at all.
That's okay. But my question is or concern is about being exactly after or before, because it means if it's a big conference, there will be lots of people taking lots of hotel rooms and travel. So it will be harder for the orchard ones to book something and find some travel. So it will make the price more expensive, probably. I don't know how much, but maybe not. Just a thing to take into account.
Yeah, that's also yeah, I understand what you mean. I don't know, like, so they mentioned that this conference has around like 700 people. So I'm not sure if this would cause a problem in a big city like
we will just look at the hotel price at the dates you suggested, and then a week before or after, just to see, and that should help us know if that has an impact or not. I haven't done that. I should.
Okay.
Just to see.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit sad that I don't really get any reply from Microsoft, but if that doesn't work out, we can still find another venue.
People at Microsoft, they don't care. They just answer when they want to answer their email.
Yeah, but you got answers, and that's why I'm kind of sad, because after that I wrote to them, they stopped replying.
They will. They told you that there was someone in vacation. Then we need 2 weeks to go back to all the emails we get from random people and then process the stack. So we'll see. Don't worry.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So going back to the status, and Mike said, oh, wait, it's on main. So main, what? It's on main? No, it's on this one.
No, it's on release, I mean,
okay.
Not main.
Yeah. Null ref exception in content item display. There is no issue with that class. This is the best class ever. What did you find? Content par shape null. Oh, when it's okay.
5-year-old bug report.
Interesting.
Really easy fix.
Why do you think it's easy?
It is.
Where is the unit test? Aha.
That part is on you. You wrote this.
You can say it's open source. You can write a test. Well, you're right. I wrote the first thing and there is no test for that. So whatever. So this one, the pager gap shape that is generated when we generate the pager, was adding a link that was losing all the current route values. So now we are passing the route values such that the new pager that is generated when you click this link is working after that. First contributor, yes. First time contributor, Renovate is updating global design, which we talked about previously, which I don't like, but unless it's a security fix, then that's fine. Update, final dependency versions. Oh, the one I said it will pick up. Oh, it picked it up. Good job, Renovate. Renovate. And let's check if the rule works, because minor, it won't do it automatically, but this one, maybe yes. So maybe this one will work, meaning it should have merged that automatically. So it created a PR with non-breaking dependency actions, and then that worked. So the PR, the CI worked, and then Renovate said, let's automate squash. And we did that. Beautiful. Fix a sitemap document, blah, 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 causing concurrent exception. Sitemap document is updated even if it doesn't lead to concurrency exception. Concurrency exception. It would have been easier to just say equals false once. They all have a true here. But maybe there isn't a. So if sitemap needs update sitemap, I see. So we have a schedule that checks if there is a change and then updates it, but it calls update even if there was no change problem. And it's doing it in a background task maybe, and then it could collide with natural change. What do we have here? Content type sitemap source update handler, custom path sitemap source update handler, and sitemap index type update handler. All these handlers could be triggered and update the same thing maybe. Okay. We could also do a try catch if there is a concurrency exception. And if there is this thing, then retry. That's an option. And that's the release. And now demo. Mike, first.
All right. Let me run this project and share my screen. Okay. All right, 1 second here. See my screen, yeah?
Yes.
All right. Just waiting for the project to start up. So this demo today is ways so we can extend the functionality of our AI. So hopefully you're all aware of what's out there, which is a module that that allows us to integrate AI into Orchard. So what else can we do? So there's the chat, we have done it before, we used it before, you know, you do a task, it should respond with something, right? One problem that we currently have in the AI field is that there is no real way to get real data, real-time data. So if you want to get things like weather or time or whatever for a specific place, you don't have that functionality as flexible as it should be. Today, you can do is you can create a function, and AI will call that function for you, and it will respond. For example, what is the time now in London? Right, and you would get a generic response just like this because it has no way of telling what time is it. What you can do is define a function that would call an API that will give you a real-time data, and then you can feed that response here, and you're good. You can do that. We've seen that demo before. But now with the new MCP, there's a new protocol out there. It's called Model Context Protocol, MCP, that allow you to kind of define common ground where you're able to have the AI plug into to talk to other services. So you have an MCP client and then you have an MCP server. MCP server is basically a way to tell the AI model, I have additional functions that you can pick from and utilize to generate the response. So what I did here is that I actually created the integration with MCP, a complete integration. I want to show you how it works in action. So now we have an MCP connections menu here. Here you can define connections to an MCP server. So I can click on add connection, and then here you can either connect to a remote server. You can put the endpoint for that server and it will connect using HTTP. But also you can select standard input output, which allows you to connect to a local machine. So in this case, let's say you have a Docker container that you want to run the server on, and then you're able to create that connection and it will call that local server. So for the sake of this demo, I created a couple connections. So this connection right here, what it does, it actually calls a Docker container with those arguments right here. And that's it. It just calls it. What this server does, the MCP time, it just provides real-time information, time information. If we go to and then we search MCP time. Oops. So there's MCP time. So you'll see it just provides, this is a Docker container that provides two functions, it convert time and get time zone. And this is how you call it. So you call it with a command called Docker, and then these are the arguments. So this is exactly what I'm connecting to. So now I have defined this MCP connection, which, by the way, I have Docker container running locally. Docker desktop is running locally. Now, if I go to my profile, which is the one that's called general chat, the one I was using earlier, I can actually tell it right here which connection I also want to expose. So in this case, I want to say, hey, expose this time capabilities for this chat. Now, if I go back to my chat and say, what is the current time in London? It's the same prompt as before. Now what's going to happen, it's going to call, which it did, it called my MCP server, which is running locally on Docker, and it was able to provide the time. And then that time went back to the AI model, and then the AI model generated this human readable response, as you can see. So that's MCP in action. But MCP does a lot more than that. It allows us to do things even more dynamic. It allows us to create agents, so we're able to have them do things for us. So you can really create whatever, like I said, connection here that you want. You can search up, like if you're, there's more than just Docker, but if you just search up the Docker hub, and you'll find out there's a lot of server, MCP servers out there that do different things. Like here, you can do file system. Here, you can interact with a SQLite. You can ask it to create a database, or do things, alter table and things like that for you. That's the MCP time, the one that we just tried. And there's a bunch of them here that you can automatically solve and become more robust. One of the ones that I want to test out is the MCP GitHub. So with a GitHub here, there's a lot of functionality here. If you look at the summary, you'll see there's a way to add an issue, create a branch, so on and so forth. If you scroll down, you will have information on how to connect to the server. And again, you can use the Docker command with those arguments, and then you'll provide an environment variable with your token, be able to talk to this Docker container, and basically gives it access to your to a repository. So I did that just so we can kind of see how it all works. I don't want to click here because my personal token is exposed. So I don't want to click on edit and show you. But it's literally you just going in here, creating one, and then you put Docker and put the arguments and the environment variable here. And so I want to go to my general chat again. And then in here, I want to now enable this other connection, the MCP connection. And then what this is going to do now, it's going to allow it to interact with whatever permission I give it. And if I go here, I created demo. So I created a repository here just so we can kind of mess around with without breaking things. So I can go back here and I can say, can you create an issue for me under the was it MCP demo repository with title demo, and let's see what happens. So now what it's going to do is going to recognize that, hey, it needed to do things. So it knows the functionality that that's available, which is the MCP for the GitHub. And it's able to say, okay, I created a demo. I did it. So you go here, look at that. And now it created a demo for me, or an issue. I can do things like tag it when, tag it when, if I can type, that'll be nice. And there you go. Let's look and see. Did it do it? Oh, there you go. Now it's bug. Can you comment by saying it worked? Right, and then let's see. Hopefully it does. And if we look at that issue, now the issue has a comment called it worked, and okay, close it. And let's see, will it do it? Will it not? There you go, and it closed it. So as you're able to see, I'm able to communicate using the cat utility to my GitHub repository, which I previously gave it access through the connection. And this is just one example of what can be done here, right? But you can really have any solution you want. If you search up here, like I showed earlier, there's a lot of solutions. You can really do whatever it is that you want. And it's really not that hard to create an MCP server. So if you have an internal project that you are running locally, and let's say you wanted to do a thing for you can create an MCP server and then just give it access to it, and it'll be able to do the work for you. It's able to do pretty much anything that you expose to it. I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to create functionality for Orchard where you can say, hey, create me a content type that does this, and we're able to create a content type for you, or say something like, I don't know, whatever, like any functionality within Orchard core, and we're able to do it. So it'll be nice to have an MCP server that does that for us. So we don't have to do it manually. We'll just be able to type in our prompt, and the system will be smart enough to say, oh, I know what to do. I know how to create deployment. I know how to do that. So yeah, and then so for the MCP, I guess I should have started with that, but I didn't. But if you search in the features, there's 2 features in the MCP under the artificial intelligence. One of them is local MCP feature, and then the other one is for the remote. This right here is optional. You don't have to enable it. This is only good for me in this case, local development, or if you have like the local connections that you want to connect to within your environment, you can enable this feature. But this feature is optional. This is the feature that you really need, which allow you to connect to any connections, and also provide you this UI that allows you just to add whatever connections you want. And I think that's it. Questions, comments?
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
All the things you showed have nothing, well, could be done outside of Orchard, right? It's the chat, calling an MCP. But yeah, what would be interesting would be to see that there is an Orchard MCP inside Orchard that you can interact with an Orchard chat. That would be nice.
Yep. Yep.
As you said.
Posing a
Nice,
server, MCP server, where
Oh,
anyone
please
can
take
connect
all
to
my
it.
content items and translate them to English or whatever. Fine. And and create a menu that contains all the articles about I don't know, apples. And or create a theme that will display my apples in this way, and then it will create the liquid templates. All these things.
Yep.
Oh, I don't like
Yep,
the
that
color.
just needs
Make it
MCP
red.
server.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just the, yeah.
Next week, it's okay. You have time. Good. Thank you. Job. For the MCP server, if you want to create one, there is a new MCP SDK for .NET. With a template, you can just create your own MCPs in .NET.
Yeah, it's right
And
here.
there is-
This is the SDK right here that you can utilize.
And there is also a new chat template. I don't know if you saw that, like .NET MEAI chat template.
I did see that, yeah. Coming up in .NET. Yeah,
Next week.
.NET 10.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, next. Milos, your turn.
Okay, I will share my screen now. Okay, is my screen shared?
Yep.
Okay, so with the introduction first, this Lombiq UI kit is a package that provides reusable shapes that you can use in your teams. And on top of that, we created Lombiq UI kit widgets, which will allow you to use these shapes as a widgets in Orchid Core. So right now we only have this Carousel widget, and to use it you need to install this package from the UI kit and then this one as well. So I have this demo website which is this is clean website, so I will now enable those two. So I will search for widgets and here it is. So I will enable it, and now a new widget is available. We are using this slick carousel, which is provides all kinds of slides and stuff like that. So let me now run a recipe that will add a page with this widget. So it is. And when I open it, we will have this one. So one important thing is that in this version we haven't added any styles to it. So if a team that you are using doesn't have styling for these slides, then it will be like this. But we are planning to add some basic styles, so the widget have some minimal style. So it doesn't look like it's broken. So we will add that in next version, but for now it's like that. And if I open this page, you will see that we have a flow part, and then inside of that there is a carousel widget. Now I will quickly go here, and let's just add here the carousel. Here it is, and you can add as many sides as you want. So you can set title. I will type services, and let's use these images. So services. And one more. Oh no, filters. Sorry. Okay, so I will publish, and now we will have two of these. And as you can see, this doesn't look good at all, but if the point is that you can create this kind of carousels wherever you like on your site, in sidebar, in footer, or anywhere basically. And there is also one more thing to solve, and it's a configuration. Right now we added only the global configuration, so it will be applied to all carousels on website, on all carousel widgets on website. That's important to mention. So you can go here in content types, carousel widget, content type, and then here, and you can paste JSON that is available on this site. So anything that is mentioned here, you can use it. So I will now, for example, type that's true and size to so to true, and then say save it. You can see that we have now applied these settings here. And we are planning to add configuration per widget, so you can add some settings per widget, and also to combine global and per widget configuration. So that would be it for this demo. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you. It's funny because Carousel is, I think, one of the first parts or widgets we built in Orchard to show the content types, and that you can, you add stuff and then you can slide them. That's funny.
And also I would like to mention that you can override what's displayed. So here is this slide, so you can override that, and basically it works that we're creating in here. We are creating a shape, slide shape, and then that is the best to see carousel shape from Lombiq UI kit. So we are passing shapes and settings here, and
I see carousel settings. This is a JSON document.
Yes,
it's a string.
The settings are. Let me see over here. Yeah, settings are JSON. JSON's JSON. And I will also show here what is happening in the carousel shape. So here it is. So this was created before. I didn't work on this, but here somewhere you can see that that settings are basically merged together. Let me just see where it is. Okay, here we can see some carousel settings that are in this shape, and then here we are merging this together and then passing to carousel. So any questions now, since I provided some more?
Do you have a list of widgets that would be added to the UI kit?
Well, for now we have only that one, but I will see if we add some more here. So
okay, carousel then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
I was talking in the void. We need to look into PRs. Mike, which one do you want to look at?
Well, we need to talk about the release to see what we need to do. And then there's George, which PR was it that we had a conversation about? Oh, the preload site settings. Fourth one from your list.
I see. We were arguing, right?
Well, it's not arguing, right? It's just we're trying to figure out what's the best approach.
That's true. Yeah, it's about the problem that we are accessing site settings in the configuration callbacks for options a lot. And this has to be synchronous all the way, all the time, and it's not going to change. And we are calling get await or get result every time. And besides making this a little bit more safe by ensuring that the settings are always loaded before, I've added a synchronous way by hiding the get await or get results call. And Mike has pushed back against this, but I think it's worth it to formalize the synchronous way to access.
I don't. Let me rephrase. I'm not pushing back against the fix. The fix is valid.
Yeah, I see.
The only thing that I'm not happy with is that adding that git site settings extension, because it's completely misleading in my opinion, because it is not, we shouldn't be using it. We don't want to encourage people to just use it everywhere. That's my only issue with it.
Yeah, but we have to use it. There's no other way. We have to do it synchronous. And
yeah, just
the
use
problem
that sync.
I see is
Get a waiter and then get that sync.
Yeah, but get a waiter, get result is a bad pattern. And every time one sees this, it's causing red flags, and everyone has to think about it if it's really safe. And we have thought this through, and we can guarantee that this works. And this is just formalizing this for other developers. That's
Yeah,
my
but then
point.
people, you can see
They
people,
are identical, but here you're seeing the waiter and the results, so you see what's happening. But if you're hiding behind
this is so difficult to get this right the first try, and everyone
you should never have a non-async one if it doesn't have a custom behavior. Here they have the same behavior, so we should only provide the async one first.
Yeah,
and
but
second,
in this place
if you provide,
we have always called get await or get results in several places.
Okay,
we can't go async in this way anytime.
I mean,
so
I mean, there is an async today, and
yeah,
if we don't use it, that's fine.
At the call site, we can't make configure async.
For the current ones, for the 100% of the current call sites, yes. Maybe tomorrow someone will want to do the async one and won't be able to. Okay, but imagine they don't.
It's not removing the async ones.
Okay, sure.
It's just formalizing that we can make sure that we can call this
if you have two of them, there would have to be a difference. Otherwise, there is no reason to have the non-async one.
No.
What could happen with the non-async one is that people will see this and will call it when they could have used the async one.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. That's exactly the problem.
That's a different problem. But this is always the
that's what I
same
don't
for
wanna-
methods which have
So
both.
maybe what we're missing is every time we
probabilities.
call it, a comment saying, yes, we know we are calling get await or get result, but because the current call site is not async, we can't.
It's repeating all over the place. It
Yes.
doesn't make any sense.
I know, but if people don't have common sense about its usage, then we have to be explicit about why we do that. I know.
Like, I understand where you're coming from, George, and what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to clean up the code, which makes perfect sense. But the problem is that people will just start misusing the git async because it's there. You know, they will start using it when they really should be calling async from a different scope. So we don't always call this method just from the singleton object, which is the
That's right,
options.
but this is
Sometimes-
that's not an argument, because you have this problem of doing it async or synchronous all the time. The only thing that this makes clear is that it's safe to do it synchronous as well. And having all this duplicated code is just causing a lot of extra work for everyone who ever needs to do it synchronous, because everyone has to think about it.
They need that
if
they have
it's
an end
safe.
of exactly.
You know what I rather do if you really need to do something like this? Create a base class for configuring just settings base that accepts iSite service, and then it will just provide the setting in the base class. So if you don't know what you're doing, hopefully you will know that there's a base class that you can use, and then you won't have to question it. Because at this point, you're like restricting it just to the settings or to the singleton objects, which is the options, and not everywhere else as an extension method. But that's just another way you can go about it if you want to clean things up.
I'm not sure if I get your point.
No, just like create a base class that has
How?
a method.
How often do we do that?
provides
The
it.
site service get site settings per request per site. How often does it happen? What is the scope of that? This must be a singleton, right?
It's managed by the
Singleton.
document manager.
It's a singleton. It's a single.
Yeah.
It's one document, and we use the document manager to cache it.
Right. And therefore we
So
are
what
sure.
we could do to solve all the problem, and this was mentioned by Zoltan, this is also almost mentioned by that, Preload, site settings, and tenant activation. So why isn't it doing it? Is it doing it?
It
I
is
missed this
doing
part.
it.
Ah,
He
okay.
is
So
doing
it's-
it. Yeah, that's the
okay.
fix.
Wait, you're lying to me, Mike. Okay,
That's
okay,
the
okay.
fix right here.
Yes, okay. So now I will complete my explanation. Okay, so we have a tenant event handler that loads the site settings once asynchronously using the async thing. Cool. Why is it doing underscore here? You're not just to preload the thing.
It's just preloading the site settings. It doesn't need to
So the
execute
document
that
will
code.
have it. The document manager will cache it this way.
Right.
So there is less potential locks or whatever because it's already done. So the
It's
async code
already
will
done,
do
and
nothing.
it's done
And-
on every site anyways. It's just ensuring that it's
And
done
then the
before
get settings
the DI is set.
is different. So let's see the get settings now. Where is the get settings?
Get setting is like before, it's just an extension
No,
method
no, that is bad. So, okay, so that is
Yeah,
still
it's
bad,
just-
but you can go further. You can now have a synchronous implementation, but maybe also then have it also in the document manager.
that's doing that
Yeah,
will be okay.
I can.
But not
We
wrapping
can we
like
can
that.
add it to the ISAT
Okay, we'll do
service.
that on review then, but
Yeah.
that's an actual topic. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay, so that's,
Yeah, there are two things in one PR again. I'm sorry.
no, I was just focusing on for me, it was just replacing the get settings async by get settings review. But no,
That's
there is the
awesome.
preload, and then we can,
Yeah, we
can do
can
something.
guarantee that get site
will be there.
settings async
Will
is
be
safe
synced,
to call with get await or get result. And
Okay, cool.
then I also added the.
And then we can even do something more clever like this.
Yeah, we can hide this.
So you
in
can
the
do
site
something like that.
service. Yeah.
Maybe we should, you can do something like here instead. And we are settings equals document this one, and we know it will be preloaded. And here we say if settings, if settings, settings that we to successfully do return awaited settings. We do here side. Oh no, we don't need the task. So that's different. We just need iSite. And then in this case, you do this. You can do that. And now there is a different implementation because we know like mostly all the time, we assume that this code here will be synchronous because it's cached by the manager and because it's preloaded. So we can do maybe the assumption that most of the case it will be go there, just pick up the value. And in case it was not resolved synchronously, then we can, well, asynchronously, then we can.
Yeah, this is even better, but it's almost the same.
But no, it's not because it's using your thing without calling get await or get result. It's getting the value directly. Because this thing will be synchronous in the end when we go into the implementation, because there will be a cached value, it will never go to an asynchronous. So it will be better.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, cool. See you on Thursday. Now, the thing that Mike wanted to talk about was the release. Little summary, Mike.
Yeah, we need to figure out what to do. I feel like we should just release one with the bad dependencies just force it and release it.
But is there a question about the version number or not?
Well, so the problem is right now is that, well, we could release 2.1.7, but the problem is that we're releasing it with packages that have vulnerability. And when we run the
2.1.6 as packages with vulnerabilities?
Correct. And now we're going to release 2.1.7 with the same packages, which I'm okay with.
Right.
Yeah.
Can people update by themselves?
Correct. And that's exactly why I think I'm okay with it, is that they can update their packages on their own machine or their own project. But when we run the action for the to release the package, it fails because of that. So I'm not sure.
Or the publishing?
You know what? I forgot. Look at the actions and see which one failed. I forgot. Scroll down, you'll see one that was tagged with this 2.7. You won't be able to filter also by the branch, because we didn't release from branch. Yeah, right there. Update, there you go, that one. Oh, if it's just a build, we can just say
Ignore the build. Yeah.
warning, not as errors, and just let it run.
But if you can make it opt-in per package, not like, okay, this one we know, that's, you know, I don't know if it's possible, but just if you can say that, that's better.
I'll see. I'm not sure. I'll see.
Non-moderate severity vulnerability. Sure. Okay. We don't care in this case. Okay.
So disable that warning and just
Yep.
zip it as is. Okay, I agree with that. I just want to make sure that's what we're doing. Because I don't think we have any other options anyway.
Okay. No, I'm fine with the plan. Good. So that will be it 1 second. And this is probably a change, the disabling the warning we don't want in the main branch. So when we merge, we won't take this one.
Correct, yeah. Well,
Cool,
there's
cool.
going to be a lot of conflicts. So
Okay. Thank you, Mike. Thanks, George. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Milos, for the demos.
Thank you.
And everyone for joining us. See you on
Thank
Thursday.
you.
Bye.
See you
Bye-bye.
Thursday. Bye
Bye.
bye.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye bye.